How your kidneys clean your blood right now. Your kidneys are performing a filtration process so precise and so extraordinary that no artificial machine ever built has fully replicated it. And most people have no idea it is happening every second of every day. Segment 1. The most underappreciated organs in the human body, the kidneys occupy a position in popular health awareness that is entirely disproportionate to their biological significance. The heart receives cultural reverence. The brain commands intellectual fascination. The liver attracts attention through its association with the lifestyle choices most visibly affecting it. But the kidneys, two fist-sized organs positioned against the posterior abdominal wall on either side of the spine, perform a continuous, extraordinarily sophisticated biological function whose complexity and precision exceed almost any other organ system in the body, in almost complete cultural obscurity. Each kidney contains approximately 1 million functional filtering units, called nephrons, microscopic structures so intricately engineered that a single nephron performs filtration, selective reabsorption, active secretion, and concentration simultaneously across its length, adjusting the composition of the fluid passing through it in response to the body's moment-to-moment requirements with a responsiveness that no external technology has replicated with comparable efficiency and selectivity. Together, the two kidneys filter the entire volume of blood in the human body, approximately 5 liters, every 20 to 25 minutes. Across a single day, they process between 180 and 200 liters of blood, extracting waste products, regulating fluid and electrolyte balance, maintaining acid-base equilibrium, producing essential hormones, and returning the purified, precisely calibrated blood to the circulation that sustains every other organ system in the body. Understanding how this process works, in the biological and mechanistic terms that reflect its actual sophistication, transforms the kidneys from a vaguely understood background organ into one of the most remarkable and worthy of deliberate protection structures in the human body. Segment 2. The filtration process in precise biological detail. The architecture of the nephron. The nephron is the functional unit through which all renal filtration occurs, and its architecture reflects the extraordinary precision of the task it performs. Each nephron consists of a glomerulus, a dense capillary network encased within a cup-shaped structure called the Bowman's capsule, connected to a tubular system comprising the proximal convoluted tubule, the loop of Henle, the distal convoluted tubule, and the collecting duct. Each component performs a distinct and indispensable function in the transformation of blood plasma into the final urine that exits the body, and the coordination between them represents one of the most elegant examples of biological engineering in mammalian physiology. Stage 1. Glomerular filtration. The blood cleaning process begins at the glomerulus, where blood arrives under pressure through the afferent arteriole and is forced through the fenestrated walls of the glomerular capillaries into the Bowman's capsule in a process called ultrafiltration. The glomerular filtration barrier consists of 3 layers of extraordinary selectivity: the fenestrated endothelium of the capillary wall, the glomerular basement membrane, and the podocytes, specialized cells with interdigitating foot processes that create filtration slits of precise molecular dimensions. This 3-layer barrier allows water, glucose, amino acids, electrolytes, urea, creatinine, and small molecular weight substances to pass freely into the Bowman's capsule while retaining blood cells, platelets, and large proteins, including albumin, within the circulation. The fluid that passes through this barrier, called the glomerular filtrate, is essentially blood plasma minus its protein content. Approximately 180 liters of this filtrate are produced daily, a volume that, if entirely excreted, would represent a catastrophic loss of fluid and essential nutrients. The subsequent tubular processing stages are responsible for reclaiming the vast majority of this volume and its valuable contents, while allowing genuine waste products to be concentrated and eliminated. The rate at which this filtration occurs, the glomerular filtration rate, or GFR, is the primary clinical measure of kidney function and one of the most sensitive indicators of renal health available through routine blood testing. A normal GFR of approximately 90 to 120 milliliters per minute reflects healthy filtration capacity, while declining values indicate progressive nephron loss and reduced renal function with the precision that makes GFR the cornerstone of chronic kidney disease, staging, and management. Stage 2. Proximal tubular reabsorption from the Bowman's capsule. The filtrate enters the proximal convoluted tubule, the segment responsible for the bulk reabsorption of the valuable substances that pass through the glomerular filter alongside the waste products that are the intended targets of elimination. The cells lining the proximal tubule are among the most metabolically active in the body, equipped with an extraordinary density of mitochondria to fuel the active transport processes that reclaim glucose. Amino acids, bicarbonate, phosphate, potassium, and sodium from the filtrate against concentration gradients. Virtually all glucose and amino acids present in the filtrate are reabsorbed here through specific transporter proteins, appearing in urine only when blood concentrations exceed the reabsorptive capacity of these transporters. As occurs in diabetes mellitus, where elevated blood glucose overwhelms the glucose transporter threshold. Approximately 65 to 70% of the filtered sodium and water is reabsorbed in the proximal tubule, driven by the active transport of sodium that creates the osmotic gradient pulling water passively behind it. This massive reclamation of water in the early tubular segment dramatically reduces the volume of fluid that must be processed by subsequent nephron segments, while concentrating the remaining waste products for efficient elimination. Stage 3. The loop of Henle and countercurrent multiplication, the loop of Henle. The hairpin-shaped tubular segment that descends into the medullary tissue of the kidney and returns toward the cortex, performs one of the most physiologically sophisticated concentration mechanisms in the human body through a process called countercurrent multiplication. The descending limb of the loop is highly permeable to water, but relatively impermeable to solutes. As the filtrate descends into the increasingly hyperosmotic medullary tissue, water is drawn out osmotically, concentrating the remaining fluid. The ascending limb, conversely, is impermeable to water but actively transports sodium, potassium, and chloride out of the tubular fluid into the surrounding tissue, diluting the fluid within the tubule while maintaining the high osmolarity of the medullary interstitium that the descending limb depends on. This elegant countercurrent arrangement creates the medullary concentration gradient that allows the collecting duct, under the influence of antidiuretic hormone, to produce maximally concentrated urine when water conservation is required, or dilute urine when excess fluid must be eliminated. It is the mechanism through which the kidneys respond to dehydration by conserving water with extraordinary efficiency, and to overhydration by excreting the excess with comparable responsiveness. The kidneys ask remarkably little in return for the extraordinary biological service they continuously provide. Adequate water, stable blood glucose, managed blood pressure, avoidance of the nephrotoxic exposures that their filtration role inevitably brings them into contact with. These are not demanding requirements. They are the minimum conditions under which the most sophisticated filtration system ever developed continues performing the function that every other system in the body depends upon. 180 liters of blood filtered every single day. 1 million nephrons per kidney performing simultaneous filtration, selective reabsorption, active secretion, and hormonal response. Waste products concentrated and eliminated while water, glucose, amino acids, and electrolytes are reclaimed with molecular precision. Blood pressure, red blood cell production, calcium metabolism, and acid-base balance regulated continuously and simultaneously. This is what the kidneys do, every minute, without pause, without conscious direction, without the cultural recognition that the extraordinary sophistication of their function deserves. They will continue performing this function faithfully across a lifetime of optimal health, if given the hydration, the metabolic stability, and the protection from the avoidable insults that the biology of their irreplaceable tissue demands. Understand what they do, appreciate what maintaining them protects, and treat the organs silently sustaining every other system in your body with the deliberate care that their biological significance has always warranted.